Jurahandhamahadoma Kunjabihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radhamadhoma Kunjabihari Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhire Nashra Prayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Yadatmanam Avignaya Bhagavantam Param Gurum Purushastu Visajjeta Runeshu Prakate Swadrik Yadatmanam Avignaya Bhagavantam Param Gurum Purushastu Visajjeta Runeshu Prakate Swadrik Yadatmanam Avignaya Bhagavantam Param Guru Purushastu Visajjeta Guneshu Prakate Swardik
Cheta यदात्माना विज्ञाय भगवतं परमं गुरु पुरुषस्तु विजेत गुणेषु प्रकृति स्वकृत
Okay, online, anybody wants to chant?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yadatmanam avignaya bhagavantam purushastu vishajjeta guneshu prakrite svadrak. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yada atman bhigyaya bhagavanta param gurum purasastu visejeta gunesu prakrite swadrik. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yadatmanam abhigaya bhagavantam param gurum purushastu vishajjeta guneshu prakrite sadrik. Hare Krishna.
Yada atmanam bhigyaya bhagavanta param
Okay, anybody else?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yada atmanam avigyaya bhagavantam param gurum purushastu vishajjeta guneshu prakrite hadrik sadrik.
Yadatmanam avignaya bhagavantam param gurum purushastu visajjeta guneshu prakrite swadhat. Hare Krishna.
Okay, then let us continue.
bhagavantam param gurum
गुणाभिमानी सततः कर्माणि कुरुते अवशः शुक्लं कृष्णं लोहितं वा यथा कर्माभिजायते यदा when atmanam the supreme soul avignaya forgetting bhagavantam the supreme personality of God param supreme guru the instructor purushaha the living entity tu then vishajjeta gives himself up guneshu to the modes prakritehe of material nature swadrik one who can see his own welfare gunabhimanai identified with the modes of nature saha he tada at that time karmani fruitive activities kurute performs avashaha spontaneously shuklam white krishnam black lohitam red va or yatha according to karma work abhijayate takes birth. The living entity by nature has a minute independence to choose his own good or bad fortune. But when he forgets the Supreme Master, the Supreme Personality Godhead, he gives himself up to the modes of material nature. By influenced by the modes of material nature, he identifies himself with the body and for the interest of the body becomes attached to various activities. Sometimes he is under the influence of the modes of ignorance, sometimes the mode of passion, sometimes the mode of goodness. The living entity thus get different types of bodies under the modes of material nature.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. These different types of bodies are explained in Bhagavad Gita 13.2. Purusha prakritasto hi bhunte prakritijan gunan karanam guna sangasya sad asadyoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature follows nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus, he meets the good and evil among various species. Because of associating with the modes of nature, the living entity gets a variety of bodies from the 84 lakh species forms. It is clearly explained herein that the living entity has a little independence, indicated by the word swadrik, meaning one who can see. The living entity's constitutional position is very minute, and he can be misled in his choice. He may choose to imitate the Supreme Personality of Godhead. A servant may desire to start his own business and imitate his master, and when he chooses to do so, he may leave the protection of his master. Sometimes he is a failure, and sometimes he is successful. Entity, part and parcel of Krishna, starts his own business to compete with the Lord. There are many competitors out to attain the Lord's position, but to become like the God is not at all possible. Thus, there is material world as different parties try to imitate the Lord. Material bondage is caused by deviation from the service of the Lord and attempts to imitate him. The Lord is imitated by the Mayavadi philosophers who try to become one with the Lord in an artificial way. When the Mayavadi philosophers think of themselves as liberated, they are under the illusion of mental concoction. No one can become one with or equal to God. To imagine this is to continue one's bondage in material existence. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurubhe Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisheshaya Shunyavadi Pashat Deshatarine. Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yadatmanam avignaya Bhagavantam Param Gurum Purushastu Visajjeta Guneshu Prakate Swadrik Gurnabhimani Satada Karmani Kurute Avashaha Shuklam Krishnam Lohitam Va Yatha Karma Vijayate. The living entity by nature has minute independence to choose his own good or bad fortune, but when he forgets the Supreme Master, the Personality Godhead, he gives himself up to the modes of material nature. Being influenced with the modes of material nature, he identified himself with the body and for the interest of the body become attached to various activities, sometimes under the influence of modes of ignorance, sometimes the mode of passion, sometimes the mode of goodness. The living entity thus get different types of bodies under the modes of material nature. So material world means material world means world of imitation. Prabhupada is explaining very nicely here. This is quite deep. We have created a huge business of trying to imitate the Lord. Everybody is doing that itself. And in that respect we compare with each other also. He is imitated. The standard of success, just like the prasadam can be inside that place. Then all that sound will have over. Now, we have started a huge business of imitation to the Lord. Everybody is trying to imitate. Just like Krishna, the beauty, how do we know beauty? We compare with Krishna. It's very, very subconscious, unconscious, we are not aware. But if somebody looks like Krishna, he's very beautiful. Correct? We are there. There also competition is going on. We look at our face in the mirror. Because whom we are comparing, whom we are competing? Krishna. It's not. Correct. So as much we can compete with Krishna, as much, with that much we feel very happy. Yes, I did it. I did it. I am also looking very handsome. Correct? Like that. Krishna is always fresh and youthful, and as much I can feel energetic. Yes, I am energetic. See, I am energetic. So our continuous business is what? Trying to imitate Krishna. And in that business, we sometimes get envious. This person is so beautiful. Correct? Why I am like that? The same way we get envious of other people's position. What is a position anyway? All positions belong to Krishna. Correct? He is the Supreme Personality, but we are trying in that business. But the joke is, you cannot compare to Krishna's beauty. Krishna's beauty is transcendental. Correct? Similarly, Krishna's position is completely transcendental. He is full of Shadaishwarya Purna, is complete with all the opulence. And we are just like a billionaire. We are comparing our 1 rupee, 2 rupee. That's all. Nowhere near. There's so much wealth, so much power Krishna has. Nowhere near. But we are, therefore, there is one of the principles is that the comparison should not occur. Everybody has got his beauty according to his karma. So why we compare? There is no need to compare. We should always be happy with what God has given us. We should always be happy. Okay. Because anyway these things are material. By kala karma, what is limited is material. Spiritual is not going to change. We don't make somebody a friend based on how he looks. That may be in the first day, but after that it's not important. Important is what is his consciousness. And the consciousness is nothing to do with karma, can be totally changed. Karanam guna sango asya sadasat yanma jonishu. Whatever behavior I have, whatever nature I have today, it is because of my previous choice of association. And if I choose differently, then it will change. Guna sango asya sadasat janma yonishu. It will change. So the business of comparison is what is material life. Material life, we are only doing one thing, comparing. All the time when we meet somebody, we compare. We see how much he is wealthy, I compare. And based on that I talk to him, otherwise I don't even talk to him. He should be of my same status. Otherwise not उसे बात भी नहीं करेंगे, नहीं? So इस दुनिया में continuous एक ही काम होता है, comparison, that's all. How much power he has, how much influence he has, how much he is respected, that's all the time we are aspiring for those things and we are comparing. And sometimes we see that people, just like in ISKCON, you can live in ISKCON only if you are a Sattva-guna. Rajoguna, Tamoguna, matlab, chapter will close. And then same thing they do. They run away and then they try to compare. See, I am also doing like you. Same business. Better word means comparison. And spiritual word is different. Prabhupada talks about the bumblebees which go very, very near to the lotus feet of the Lord. And they can see the glories of the Lord, the beautiful pastimes, what's happening. And everything is, even though it may be B, in material world the B is limited. It is in Tamoguna. Spiritual world, everything is full consciousness. And then the B comes out and starts glorification of the Lord. And it is said, even the beautiful birds, the charvakas, everybody, beautiful birds in spiritual world, which can sing very sweetly, they peacefully hear. What do they hear? The sound of the bumblebee. They are enjoying that. They are enjoying. They are hearing the glory. There is a comparison. This business of comparison comes to the material world. Imitate. The business of imitation. And that's why the imitation comes. Very rarely imitation is good. Just like small children, they imitate. It is good. Bhagavatam discusses how Parikshit Maharaj used to imitate the worship of the Lord which is going on in his house. Prabhupada said, very good. Prabhupada takes his own example. He said, my father was, all the time he saw him, he was doing puja, he was doing worship. And I told him, give me also one set. So he said, me and my sister, we had also one set. And we used to, whatever eat, we used to offer to the Lord. It was playful, more done in a playful mood. We will also, like children do, they decorate. We used to do everything. And he says, later, when I met my spiritual master, those playful deities became my worshipable deities under rules and regulations. So children have a tendency to imitate. Yes, you sit down and chant Hare Krishna, they will also sit down and imitate you Hare Krishna. So sometimes this imitation is good. And in fact, in America, Prabhupada noticed that when the devotees are doing Sankirtana in the towns and they are so blissful, going village to village, so many people shaving up because they also want to imitate. Good. And Prabhupada noticed that. He said, good. They are doing that. So in that respect, sometimes imitation is good, but generally that is not. Everybody is governed. Arjuna also said, Krishna, I can leave everything and sit in the forest. And I can imitate the Brahmanas. Krishna said, no. So dharmani dhanam shaya paradharma bhayavaha. It is better to die in your own nature and activities. Don't imitate others. It is fearful. And Arjuna is not thinking, a Kshatriya, he is a liberated personality, but Krishna is giving lesson through Arjuna. Arjuna can do anything actually. A Vaishnava can do anything. Prabhupada said the Vaishnava, he gave an example when he wanted to, that you are doing some service, so you are giving an example. It's not that just because you are cleaning the temple you become a Shudra. No. You are giving an example how to do the work. So Vaishnava should be ready to do anything. Like Arjuna is a great Vaishnava, but he was fighting. He was doing the role of a Kshatriya. Anything a Vaishnava should be able to do. But Krishna is instructing him as a Kshatriya, as a role model. And what does Krishna tell? Krishna tells Arjuna, don't do that. What are you thinking? You will go to the forest and you will sit and imitate of the Lord. How can you do that? This is a business of a Brahmana. You cannot do that. Why you want to imitate? You live by begging. Why you want to do that? You cannot do as a Kshatriya. Kshatriya means prestige, honor. How you can do this? It's not possible for her. Paradharma bhaya, and you will not be able to do. In the third chapter, Krishna, when Arjuna presents in the second chapter, I am not going to fight. First chapter he said, I can't fight Krishna. So what is the answer Krishna gives in the third chapter? He says, Mithyachari so uchyate. Guess what is the shloka?
Parmendriyani sanyamya yuktamasita matpara.
You added two shlokas.
Karmendriya Sayapya Manasa Smaran
Indriyarthan vimudhastan mithyacharasya uchyate.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
So we cannot imitate Krishna, we mix up. Krishna did not mix up shlokas, you are clear. We cannot say. Can just imagine. Can anybody speak for half an hour something that for 5,000 years people are studying? Studying. Great acharyas are writing bhashya on that. And people are quoting those. Just think about it. You speak something for half an hour, it is recorded, okay? And for thousands of years, people are quoting because you said that. Each statement is perfect. We cannot say that. Sometimes we tell somebody, you write. They write. And within the write, you say, okay, talk about the soul. You write. You will cut it 2 times. Yourself you will cut 2 times. It's so difficult to write anything. Speaking is easier. Write, no? You cannot write. Therefore, very, very difficult to write. Speaking is very... So, if people write, you will cut. No, this is wrong, you cannot. And Krishna did not say, now, Arjuna, wait a minute, let me revise, let me correct. Nothing. Spoken perfect. Srila Prabhupada was also writing purport in the night. Perfect. He not say, oh, sorry, that purport, I said that line you remove. He is not saying that. Perfect. So we cannot imitate a great Acharya, or we cannot imitate Krishna. But we try. We are very happy. My people we are so much subconsciously. Just again meditate, just like the form we see are so beautiful because it is just like Krishna, the same way every movement subconsciously I am trying to imitate Krishna. Every movement. If 2 people are listening to me, very nice. Very nice. Because when Krishna speaks, the whole world listens. And when the great acharyas, everybody listens. Everybody is hearing. Every word Krishna speaks, everybody is hearing. And we have no knowledge, we have no darshan, we are just repeating the words of the Prabhupada, but we think we have become Krishna. That is the problem we have seen. People become Jagat Gurus. Once you give, that's the biggest joke in Kali Yuga. Once you give somebody some position, he will not come down from that. He will not even agree, he is not qualified for that. As much mess he can make. That's a typical position of Kali Yuga. That's just like Yudhishthira Maharaj was offered to become the emperor of the world. He said, I am not qualified. He said that on. But today in this world you ask somebody, I will make president of America, I am ready. He will not even think introspectively, he is not even qualified to hold his position where he is. So much there is hypocrisy in Kali Yuga. It's so inbuilt within us. Just imagine, can anybody compare to Yudhishthira Maharaj? Spotless character whole life. He is a son of Yamaraj. Everything is perfect. True? Every angle is perfect. Spotless. Pure devotee of the Lord. But still he is saying, I am not qualified, and we think we are qualified. That's the biggest joke in Kali Yuga. Nobody, he thinks he is qualified for whatever position he is doing. Like we had the famous example, there was a person who became Prime Minister for short duration. Now he had many opportunities to become Chief Minister, he never became. He is from Karnataka. He never became. So no, I am the Prime Minister, my son can do that. He never became. He is not thinking he is qualified, not qualified. That is the nature of the living entity. Nature. He will not. So whatever it is, yes, I am qualified. No, I am not qualified. Like not the meditation Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada had. When his guru told him, that you preach. And he was preaching. And then one day there was Vyasa Puja. So the lot of devotees were offering worship to him. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada saw some people a little disturbed, why so much worship is coming. So he says that, see, I am sitting here on the order of my spiritual master. That's all. I am not qualified. On the order of my spiritual master I am sitting. Another example is Bharat Maharaj. When Bharat, which Bharat? There are so many Bharats. The Ram Lakshman Bharat. Now when Bharat Maharaj had to rule in the absence of Lord Rama, he kept the padukas on the seat and always felt, I am not qualified to sit on the seat. On his behalf, he did a very good rule, but never sat on the throne, correct? So imagine, we should have always any position, any respect belongs to Guru and Krishna, not to me. Just like Srila Prabhupada says in the introduction to the Bhagavad Gita, you see what an example we have. And Acharya gives what an example. He says that people are giving me so much credit. He is speaking from the heart. that I've done wonderful, but actually all the credit belongs to my spiritual master. He says that. It does not belong to me. He's offering. Sometimes it does happen, we go sometime, we are representing ISKCON and we have a great pride in representing ISKCON because we are representing a bona fide movement of Lord Chaitanya. It's a great privilege, but at the same time, sometimes we may get respected. Correct? People bow down, people want to touch the feet, they do dandavat or what all they do. We should immediately understand, actually I have no qualification, this respect goes to Prabhupada. Do not take it. If you take even small of that, that's what that shows Rajaguna, you will not be able to stay in association of devotees. Very soon you will be out. Because then what happens? You have developed now another agenda. We are saying officially, I have come to serve Krishna. But you cannot, because you have now developed other agenda. You want respect. You want to eat that. That's very satisfying. Without that you can't live only. And then what happens? When you don't get the respect, you get very disturbed, you get very angry. You develop your own agenda now. Now you're not here for service to Krishna. You will just very soon it is, Maya will just throw that person out. Because he is not with the agenda to service. He has come for something personal business. It's so mixed up. To some degree everybody is mixed up. But that mixing when become too much, then it becomes suffocating for the other people. Remember, we have come to serve Krishna, not to satisfy ego of this fellow. It's a matter of time, people will ignore him and he will be frustrated and he'll go away. He doesn't know it is so subconscious. We say in the growth of bhakti, there is Nishidhachar, Kutinati, Jiva Himsa. These are the gross things, gross. His behavior is not up to the standard of a Vaishnava. He is shouting, howling, using vulgar words. What is it? Not a Vaishnava behavior. Kutinati, he is not straightforward, so he is having duplicitous behavior. Jiva Himsa, he doesn't even mind giving pain to other living entities. Just imagine how much the Maya can take. And Mana Puja Pratishtha, which is even more subtler. Maybe you can remove this, we are not even conscious. Correct? All of us, are you conscious when you're looking at the mirror or when somebody is very handsome? What is handsomeness? You are just comparing with Krishna, which you do not know. So similarly, anything we see, we compare to Krishna's position. We know Krishna's position deep in the heart somewhere. Just like all of us, we have not seen Krishna for trillions of years now. But still we keep comparing with Krishna. It is there within the heart somewhere. So similarly, Krishna's supreme position. When Rajasuya Yagna, when Krishna is being worshipped, the unlimited living entities are worshipping him. Correct? All the universe, people are worshipping Krishna when he is doing different pastimes. Correct? Somewhere you know that. In the spiritual world, everybody at every moment is looking at him. He is the center of attention in the spiritual world. So we think, if I can imitate that, and subconsciously when I can imitate that, we feel very happy. See, I've done it. Dekh, मैंने किया ना copy. Just like you have business, and somebody leaves your business, starts his own business, and all the time in his mind is, see, look at me, how nicely I've done. Like Pakistan left India, all the time, all they keep comparing with India only. Why you are doing that? Do your own business. They'll keep comparing. See, now we are done. We have defeated India. Recently they won some cricket match and the whole country was celebrating. See, we did it. We did better. क्या बात कर रहे हो? So whole life is actually business of competition. But how we can compare? Can we compare with Krishna lifting? No, see, you want to compare with Krishna, we have common sense. Krishna is in the spiritual world. You can't even reach there. क्या compare करोगे? क्या compare? Oh, Bhaumalila. Try. Krishna lifted a mountain. Try. Let us see what mountain you can lift. Lord Shiva, one amsha of the Lord, he drank poison. Try. Jara try करो. जरा देखे जरा क्या करते हो, है ना? You cannot do. You one drop, you will die. Therefore, Prabhupada says, do not compare. Please do not do that. Instead of comparison and competition to Krishna, we should actually develop attitude of service. In fact, the moment we are in good association, we develop the tendency for service to Krishna. And that is why we can come in association of devotees. When people are sitting at home, they think they are the greatest devotees. That is an extension of karmi life. In karmi life, every person thinks he is the best man. That is karmi. That is the definition of a karmi. मैं बहुत अच्छा आदमी. But actually, he should be to shame. The kind of person he is, kind of thoughts he is having, he should be ashamed actually. Therefore, Prabhupada says the beginning of spiritual life is when you know you are a rascal. That's the beginning of spiritual life. And the scientists never get it because they think I am great. He is worshipped in the society. Jada vidya maya randhakara. More and more you worship, more and more you start believing there is something special about you. Okay? So spiritual life begins. Karpana dosha pata svabhaha. I am crazy. What is this? My consciousness at every moment is blown away by Maya. Upahata svabhava. Dosha. There I have so many faults, and these faults are blowing away consciousness every time. But I am thinking of imitating Krishna. Krishna is the controller of Maya, and I am controlled by Maya. Where there is comparison? There is no comparison. But when I understand this reality, that actually I am nothing, I am nothing, I am nothing, that day my spiritual life begins. Therefore, Janma Sharya Shuta Shivi, these people who are intoxicated with the birth, with the... Yes, who knows the shloka, Janma Sharya?
Janmaishwarya Shri Vedamano Atapumano Na Eva Harhati Abhitatum Vai Tvam Akinchana Gochara.
Yeah, beautiful shloka. Okay. So Janmaishwarya, so those people are intoxicated, with some kind of satisfaction, and they are lost in that, they are proud of that. Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, these people can know how they will offer any prayer to the Lord. Those Na ev arti abhidhatu, they do not deserve to offer prayer to the Lord with any feeling. Right? So let us be free. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Anybody knows the shloka?
सर्वोपाधि विनिर्मुक्तम तत्परेत्र सर्वोपाधि विनिर्मुक्तम भूल गई प्रभु जी.
Tatparatveena nirmalam.
ऋषिकेश शीलेन भक्तिरुच्यते.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay? Sarva, so we have to give up all upadhis. What are these upadhis? Imitation. Sarvapati vinirmuktam, give up all the imitation, tatparatvena nirmalam, and the heart should become purified by giving up all this imitation business. Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam Bhakti Utyam. We are serving the Rishikesha Krishna with all the senses, and that is Shuddha Bhakti. After giving up all the upadhis, give up this imitation business. Subconsciously try to understand you are trying to imitate. You cannot imitate. We cannot imitate great acharyas. Just like Srila Prabhupada at an advanced age is traveling around the world preaching. Do not do that. Prabhupada says in the first canto, in the purport, do not imitate personality like Narad Muni. Sit down in a place, sit to chant and read. Correct? You think I will also retire and I will also start a movement. Please do not do that. You are not an acharya. Little pain you can't even chant Hare Krishna. We should know our position. Srila Prabhupada with extreme pain and difficulty of his body was preaching with huge energy. You cannot do that. Don't imitate an acharya. Forget about imitating Krishna, don't imitate even acharyas. Like Arjuna was trying to imitate the activities of Brahmana. Do not do that. This is not our business to imitate. Okay? Our business is to serve. And then see what is the mistake we make. We see Krishna very, very happy. We want to be happy. We think if I achieve that position, I will also be happy. Why we imitate? End of the day, we want happiness. No. You think Krishna is so happy, I will also be happy if I reach his position. But a fool you are, by serving Krishna, you get more happiness. Therefore, Prabhupada says to think of even becoming a gopi in the spiritual world is foolishness. Correct? That is called sahajiya. What is sahajiya? Again, imitation. We discussed this a whole class on that. We have to follow rules and regulations. We don't want to follow rules and regulations, and still we want to be very, very advanced Vaishnava. That is imitation. What is Sahajiya? Sahajiya means imitation. So you can think of imitating the Lord. That is not correct. And Mayavadis are the epitome of that. Yarvindaksha Vimukta Manina. They think they are liberated. Imitation. And not only that, Maya is so powerful, actually the Mayavadis believe they are imitated. They are liberated. They feel. Like so many of us, just because we are holding a bead, yesterday somebody was asking me this question, how is that people chanting Hare Krishna, we see they show some rasic, tamasic behavior. Yes, they just begin spiritual life. Mumukta Manina, they are not liberated, they are not become Vaishnavas. Just because they are wearing a dress, nobody becomes a Vaishnava wearing a dress. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, why does he say? Nake kanti gale mala ek kayeli khali chela. We are wearing kanti mala and tilak on the head. He said it is a kali chela. Just because he is wearing a dress, it doesn't become. Srila Prabhupada, even God was there, they destroyed the mission of his guru. Chanting 64 rounds. We are only chanting 16 rounds. They destroyed the mission of his guru. So badly destroyed that Prabhupada could not. He tried to pick it up, one of them, and develop it. Why start a new movement? He got fed up. Because nothing there remaining. Destroyed. So we cannot say that you can, just because I am chanting Hare Krishna, I am Vaishnava. No. Your behavior. You have to watch your behavior. How are you behaving with other devotees? Therefore, Prakata Sahajiya means is just an extension where I was developing that. Karmi feels, I am the best man. So when he begins spiritual life, that mentality continues. I am the best devotee. That is Kanishta Adhikari. He knows himself, he knows the Lord, he cannot appreciate anybody's service to Krishna. That is his problem. He can proper say the sadhana as a devotee is learn all the time, appreciate. Practice this. Appreciate other devotees' service. That is what you are supposed to do as sadhana. Because it is not possible at this moment, because we are still coming from material world. We just come from material world, correct? Just holding a bead. Just because I am holding a bead, I change a dress, I have not become a Vaishnava. Correct? So what, as a sadhana, every movement of the sadhana, learn to appreciate other devotees' service. That is sadhana. Not you're not feeling like that, but as a sadhana. Wonderful Prabhuji. How nicely you have done that. Do that. As a sadhana, do it. Then you learn to become what is a Vaishnava. Correct? You have no capacity today to appreciate anybody's service. But from the situation that you are, what is the karmi word? I am the best person in the world. That shows you still not become a devotee. Now when you come to a devotee life, you're holding bead, still that feeling, I am the best devotee. Same disease is there. Correct? Sahajiya, imitating. The Lord is always the best person. We also have the same feeling, I am the best person. Keep imitating, keep comparing. So then that is not the business, and actually we become a Vaishnava, then he actually can understand the next level. He can understand Isharata Dineshu Balisheshu Disheshu. He deals differently with different people in the world. And a Param Vaishnava and Acharya, he totally realizes his humble position. Our Lord is in complete control and I am an insignificant servant. He is in ecstasy and trance, which we cannot even understand. So therefore, forget the Uttamadhikari. It's a very, very, just like in ecstasy of understanding our separation from the Lord because of our own foolishness. What Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, I am more lower than a worm in a stool, more sinful than jagai. Bahut acha lagta hai sunne mein. Very nice. But actually the fact is, don't artificially even speak that words. Don't speak. Because we should never speak what is not in our realization. Then you are making again imitation. True? Everybody should speak in his realization. In your realization, from try to Kanishta to come to Madhyama. Please do not, sometimes you would say, Prabhu, I am most fallen. Please don't speak all these things. It is only Uttamadhikari can actually speak. He speaks from the heart. You know your position. You are Kanishta, then you are thinking I am the best devotee. Come to Madhyama, we are able to appreciate other devotee service. Therefore, a devotee means appreciate. Because comparison brings criticism. Correct? Whatever you're doing, imitation and comparison, that's my only life which I've been doing whole life. So now this brings only criticism of other devotees. Therefore, one of the behavior of a devotee who is advancing is Ninda Shunya, that is given in Nectar of Instruction. He gives up the business of criticizing. He gives up. If somebody is criticizing, you understand he is still a neophyte devotee because he is comparing. He gives up the business of criticism. He gives up. In his heart that doesn't exist at all. He is very peaceful and happy. Gives up that business of criticism. Then actually you become very, very happy and peaceful. In Bhagavatam also it is said, Dharma projita gayatva paramo nirmasaranam sata. Masara, jealousy, enviousness. See, sometimes there is something called constructive criticism that requires a lot of maturity, where you are encouraging somebody even though you are correcting him. Correct? That is different. We don't do that. Our criticism, whenever somebody is criticizing somebody and he has a lot of jealousy in that criticism, we can see it. Like so many people come and report, Prabhuji is doing like that, we can see he is giving the fault to other person, but not out of constructive criticism, not out of well-wish. He actually wants to pull him down. This is jealous criticism. This shows he is still in the three modes of nature, and we even doubt whether he is following regular principle, because as a Vaishnava he should not even do that. Why is he doing that? Why he wants to pull down another person? So therefore our life has to be in a different way. So there is imitation of the Lord, just like Rishabhadeva. Rishabhadeva, Prabhupada says, we are doing a Jada Yoga. What yoga? Jada Yoga. Jada Yoga means like a stone lying down. And one whole dharma has come, don't want to name in public here, imitating Rishabhadeva. Bhagavatam predicts that is going to happen. Imitation. That is the whole thing of imitation. Rishabhadeva, they imitate, there are so many sages in that, they imitate. They are very rich. Bhagavatam predicts they will be rich also. Because material world, just because you are rich doesn't mean you are correct. So many people are rich, they are sinful people. Recently we had in America that big case, I can't even pronounce the name, Epstein something, correct? He was a very, very rich person. He was doing the most sinful activity possible, abusing small children. Rich man. Just because he is rich doesn't mean he is nice or great. Kali Yuga, it is said in different predictions of Kali Yuga, it is just by money everything is counted. Somebody has money, he is a noble man. That's in Kali Yuga the standard. And somebody doesn't have money, he is a thief. Therefore, suppose you are sitting here, a person come, poor person, everybody think, chori karega paka. He is a thief. If you don't have money, you are a bad person. If you have money, you are a very nice person. But that's not the criteria at all the time. We saw that so many people, which is not the criteria. So we are in Janmashwarya Shuta Shibi, so we therefore focus to come out of all kind of upadhis. So Rishabhadeva, so I was talking about Jain people, the word has come. So they are rich, they are rich, but we don't have to give them any value for that, just because they have money, no value. They imitate, why they are trying to imitate Rishabhadeva? Why are you doing that? Correct? But Bhagavatam says they will be rich. It doesn't mean they are noble and what they are doing is correct, no. Many people say that, no, because I am getting money, what I am doing is correct, see God is blessing me. No. Ravana was rich, so many people were rich. It doesn't make any sense. In the Rasic civilization, Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktana, everybody enchanted of Bhoga and Aishwarya. So these people therefore have no peace of mind. A person should not compare. Whatever position, Krishna has kept me in this position. Let me save time to serve him. I have to do some duties, whatever I have. Let me save time and peacefully serve him. That should be my business, instead of continuing in the life of committee. So Rishabhadeva, he was doing Jada Yoga. Even hearing that is very difficult. In that he used to pass stool, and the stool used to aromate. He used to walk naked. And when he used to pass stool, that is there in the Bhagavatam, that smell of that was like roses. It is to give a sweet smell for miles. So Prabhupada says, do not imitate Jada Bharata unless you can, do not imitate Rishabhadeva unless you can pass stool which is aromatic. You cannot do that. Stinking. So the business of imitation from all angles, it has to be given up. Either the sahajiya, what are sahajiyas doing? They do not follow rules and regulations. Just like we are telling everybody, please take a copy, remember shlokas. No, I don't need to do that. Sahajiya, again sahajiya, making it cheap. You want to become a devotee, you don't want to remember what Krishna's shlokas are there. These shlokas you can keep repeating to ourselves. So our intelligence has to be engaged. Our intelligence is not contaminated. We have to engage this intelligence. So every day when you are writing with your hand, nowadays even writing you need a practice, no? Writing is, nobody writes today. That's why when exam time they write is a big problem. They go to, all the children today, youth, nobody writes. All the time on mobile. So when they have to write exam time, after examination straight orthopedic ward. They have swelling and all, so many students today. They go to orthopedic ward because writing a habit ही नहीं है. 3 घंटा लिखने में straight pain, swelling हो जाता है. When you have no habit, how do you write for 3 hours? Suddenly. So therefore good. So don't become like that. You write shlokas. Write with a good handwriting. Carefully practice handwriting. छोटे बच्चे करते ना, वैसे practice handwriting. Write nicely. You are writing the words of the Lord. Uttama shloka. Write beautifully. So in that way, we have a long way to go. And instead, so we see Krishna is very happy. We think if I get position of Krishna, I will be happy. Murkha. Because just by serving Krishna, you will become 10 times happy. And by serving the servants of Krishna, you become 100 times, million times happy. That is there in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. I say the gopis, when Krishna looks at Radha Rani, he says, she's serving me, but she is much more happier than me. And therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes down, where the Lord wants to see the happiness of his devotee. It is the reverse. Correct? And then those who are serving Radharani, they are even more happy than Radharani. So if you want to be happy, dasa dasa anudasa, become servant of the servant. And at the end of the day, Atma wants happiness. Correct? But the real happiness will not come by the business of imitation. What we are trying to do, imitate the Lord. That is what the Mayavadis, the kings, I become Narayana, they walk like that. When Kumbh Mela or so many places, wherever they go on an elephant. They say they Jagat Guru and he goes on an elephant, They think we have special and they believe that. Maya spins them around. Correct? Maya will make an ass out of you. So similarly, Sahajiyas do not know they are Sahajiyas. Sahajiyas are imitating great devotees. They do not know they are convinced. Tears are coming in my eyes and I am fainting. They are convinced I become they are not devotees. Everybody can see that, but they think they are the devotees. So this is the trap of Maya. Therefore, we have to become servant of Krishna instead of becoming a master. And this service spirit is what makes us advance. The more we have ye yatha mam prapadyante. Who knows this shloka? Ye yatha mam.
Ye yatha mam prapadyante tans tathaiva bhajamyaham mama vartmanuvartante. Manushya partha sarvasah.
To the degree we surrender to the Lord, to that degree Krishna is revealed. So when you give up the imitation business and understand I should be servant, to the degree you take the service attitude, to that degree Krishna will reveal. But you cannot know externally. Internally it is. Correct? Externally kya hai? Externally 50 namaskar maar raha hai. Internally he may not be having any service attitude. Like Romaharshana Sutta, he is giving Bhagavatam class. He doesn't have any service attitude. Balram ji said, nikal idhar se tu. Why you are sitting in this place? He gave him death penalty for that. But that's an example being made. That is not we do. ये नहीं कि हम भी बंदूक लेके निकल जाएं. हम तो बात तो वो नहीं कर सकते. बलराम जी ने तिनके से मार दिया था ना. भाई बलराम जी ने मारा था ना. मारा था. So therefore, interpretation of the scripture is to be taken carefully. We can take interpretation of this, take a gun. देखा भाई ये आदमी तो वैष्णव नहीं है, धोम क्यों दे रहा भागवतम. बलराम जी ने मारा ना, मैं भी मारेगा तो भम. जितना लोग देखा टीम है, क्लास ले रहा मायावादी ढूंढ ढांड के भम. तो क्यों क्लास ले रहा है? नहीं ले सकता. So the imitation business, he doesn't know he is imitated. Do you think Romaharshana Sutta knows? He doesn't know. So the degree we develop service spirit actually, how do we know somebody has given up, who has properly situated Vaishnava? Vaishnava is service attitude. Correct? That is a Vaishnava. Vaishnava means he's become a servant. Okay? Vishnu, servant. So when somebody has become Vaishnava, you see, he does not criticize anybody. He does not compare anybody. He doesn't think of comparing himself to the Lord. And he doesn't know Sahaja in him. He's very serious. He's very scared. All the time he's worried whether I offended the Lord. All the time he's worried. Always meek and humble in front of the Lord. He's very worried. I did this, maybe I upset Prabhupada. My mission of life is, just like so many husbands are there, they're very worried if the wife is upset. Because whole day will be spoiled then. Correct? They're worried or not. They're very conscious, very careful. Now if the wife is upset, how you were upset, you should be happy. You cannot say like that. So how can you expect Krishna to be granted that he's happy? No. Devotee means he's a servant. What is the business of servant? To keep the Lord happy. So always conscious. Prabhupada, I'm sorry. What kind of thoughts I'm having, definitely, you will be very angry at me. I'm very sorry. All the time he looks at the deities. I know, I say I'm your devotee, I wear a dress of your devotee, but I'm never even thinking of serving you. I'm in a hopeless condition. Please be merciful to me. What is the prayer to Nityananda? Aha Prabhu Nityananda? Who knows this? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Anybody knows the first 3 verses?
Yes, Prabhuji. Shall I sing, Prabhuji? Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More. तुम बिना के दयालो जगत संसारे पतित पावना हेतु तव अवतारा मोसमा पातित प्रभु न पाए बेहारा श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दोया कोर मोरे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु आहा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी आहा प्रभु नित्यानंद प्रेमानंद सुखी कृपा बलो काना करो आमी बोर दुखी कृपा बलो काना करो आमी बोर दुखी श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु दया कर मोरे
Thank you, Mataji. Very nice. Okay? So sing all this, remember this. Even in your initiation they say, tell me the third line, second line, correct? All the first you finish, I think we are developing now, first you finish the prayers in the temple and then all the Vaishnava bhajans, people should try to remember. Okay? And their proper says, they may look very simple but they contain all the conclusions of the Shastra, the simple prayers. And because in our heart originally there is service attitude to the Lord. When you are doing in this bhajans, what you are doing? Sometime when you read Bhagavatam, and Krishna book I particularly remember when in the beginning we are reading, comes now Indra's prayer and full chapter. Kya story bolo na, story next, है ना? अरे बाबा वही तो ज़्यादा important है, story तो next है, वो ज़्यादा important है. Because we see now the prayers means service spirit. We have to get infected. We have to get the trace of that prayers. Brahma is offering prayers to Krishna. Such a big chapter is there in Krishna book. यार ऐसे स्टोरी में चलते हैं ना, आगे स्टोरी है ना. पहले वो स्टोरी बुक चाहिए. अरे छोड़ी बच्चे के लिए है, तुम क्या बच्चे हो क्या? पढ़ो ना, प्रेयर्स पढ़ो. लोग नहीं पढ़ना चाहते. Even that tendency is there. अरे अभी फिर प्रेयर शुरू हो गया. अरे वही तो मेन है. वो स्टोरी is secondary, prayer is primary. Because of this prayer, we have to. These stories are bringing us to the prayer. And when we see the prayers to the Lord, we also get infected in our heart with the prayerful attitude to the Lord. So then the life becomes successful. Hare Krishna everybody.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dhawan pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna
Dhawan
Prabhuji,
Pranam.
Hare
Dandavad
Krishna
Pranam.
Prabhuji, Dandavad
Jai
Pranam.
Prabhuji, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
Krishna
Rama, Hare
Krishna,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Krishna, Krishna
Rama
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Krishna.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Something I forgot I wanted to add. Imitation means I want to know all information. Just like Vishnu, Krishna, he wants to know everything. Why you have to know? You know for your service to Krishna what information you need, where you can actually make an impact. That information I want to know. I don't want to know everything in the world. Tell me, tell me. That is also very subtle imitation. We want to imitate. Correct? क्या हुआ उधर उधर क्या हुआ वो क्या हुआ तुमको क्या मतलब है तुमको क्या मतलब है जस्ट लाइक somebody's house some fight occurs you say क्या हो रहा था नेबर तो तेरे को क्या मतलब है तेरे को क्या मतलब है तू अपना काम कर so we don't want to do that the tendency is there because अब ये ऑनलाइन पता चल जाता है पता ये हुआ था उसने उसको थप्पड़ मारा 3 उसने 2 थप्पड़ मारा हाँ ये हुआ तेरे को क्या मतलब है. But Krishna, as a sitting as Paramatma in the heart of everybody, he knows everything. He wants to know also. But you should not imitate that business. Stop that business. You should actually be in your natural position. Okay? And what you should do? Try to serve Krishna. Instead of, we need limited, only information, how I can continue my service to Krishna, how can improve my quality of service to Krishna, that only information. Okay, second thing, yesterday we have booked the tickets. Those people who want to come, please, the tickets will not be available later. Please book immediately the tickets. And we also have to book ticket we are booking train from Trichy to Rameshwaram. So we are closing the registration now. So please inform us if you are coming. We cannot do later. Later it will not be possible for us. Okay? Hare Krishna everybody. Hare Krishna. भगवान का दर्शन करा.
रजिस्ट्रेशन कब तक बंद कर
अरे यार मैसेज तो लिख दो ना हम कर देंगे एक मैसेज लिख दो मैं आ रहा हूँ ठीक है
नहीं प्रभु जी बंद नहीं करोगे जल्दी मैं उसलिए पूछ रही हूँ मतलब
नहीं अब वो कर देना चाहिए क्या ना अभी क्या टिकट खरीद देना हमको त्रिची से रामेश्वरम के किसका खरीदेंगे टिकट तो फिर अवेलेबल नहीं होंगे ना हमको एटलीस्ट बता दो हम खरीद देंगे आपके लिए खरीद के रख लेंगे ठीक है ओके हरे कृष्णा
Prabhuji. I booked the ticket. Not from Trichy to Rameshwaram, you have not booked them, Prabhuji.
No, that we will book. Don't worry. That we will book. But those people who tell us they are coming, we will book for them. Ticket Temple will book all those tickets. Okay? But let us know. If you have not registered, let us know. भाई प्रभु जी मेरे लिए भी एक बुक कर देना. ठीक है? Okay. हरे कृष्णा.
हरे कृष्णा
प्रभु जी मेरे लिए करके रखना 2.
हाँ.
2 मेरी तरफ से मतलब मेरा.
हाँ अरे वो नाम तो भेजो एज और नाम दोनों भेजो इधर एज भी रिवील करना पड़ेगा.
हाँ जी प्रभु जी.
पकड़े जाएंगे सब लोग. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे
Krishna Krishna Hare
कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे राम हरे राम राम हरे हरे. थैंक यू प्रभु जी. हरे